New strategy targeting WhatsApp users. Cyber experts say its methods have become even more dangerous. And then finally in Bengaluru, a footpath crackdown that has triggered a larger debate over livelihoods, legality and selective enforcement. Your childhood's education, your smartphone's security and the streets you walk on. Debates that matter to every citizen. You're watching In Your Interest with me, Kabir Naqvi. First, the top headlines on your screen. At least 5 people killed, 16 others injured in a bomb blast at a crowded cafe in central Damascus. Syrian state media says an explosive device had been planted at the cafe near the Palace of Justice. Prime Minister Modi holds bilateral talks with Japanese Prime Minister Sanae Takaichi at the Hyderabad House. Prime Minister Modi addresses the Japanese counterpart as his younger sister, drawing smiles from everybody. And the Japanese Prime Minister today announcing 129 private sector cooperation agreements between Japan and India involving investments exceeding Japanese yen 2 trillion, whilst declaring a joint development of a green ammonia project. Union Minister for Petroleum Hardeep Singh Puri says petrol diesel price could be cut if the global oil rates stay low for the next few weeks. In the murder investigation of Pune-based realtor Ketan Agarwal, main accused Sia Goyal now agrees to undergo a polygraph test. The 20-year-old accused gave her consent today to the Lonavala Rural Police. The TET exam row. 3 more accused have been arrested in connection with the TET paper leak matter. Arrested accused have been identified as Sonu Singh, Mithun Singh and Kapil Dhaiya. As the Maharashtrian capital continues to get water-lashed, a Mumbai man died after falling into an open manhole in the Chandiwali area amidst heavy rains. BMC has suspended 4 officials for this gross negligence. And after a notice to WhatsApp, Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology is set to issue legal notices to Signal and Telegram as well over the same username feature. For millions of Indian students, exams have come to define months of relentless preparation, coaching classes, we're talking about mock tests, sleepless nights, and ultimately one examination that can shape an entire future. And for years, the message has been simple. Crack NEET, crack JEE, secure a top rank, and everything else becomes secondary. School education, board examinations, even classroom learning have often taken a back seat to this race for entrance examinations. But that philosophy may now be on the verge of changing. And why we're saying that is because the government is now considering one of the biggest overhauls of India's admission system in decades. The trigger is a familiar setup of things, a series of paper leak controversies we've been talking and highlighting here at News9, concerns over the mushrooming of dummy schools, growing dependence on coaching institutes and these hubs that have come up, and the enormous pressure placed on teenagers through a single high-stakes examination. The thinking now is simple. Should one 3-hour examination alone decide a student's future? We've been putting that question up to various educationists and parents as well over the last 2 months or so. And the proposals that are being examined are significant. Take a look at this. Board examination performance could once again become an important part of the admission process, carrying substantial weight alongside these entrance tests. Students may get multiple opportunities to appear for national entrance examinations, and tests themselves could gradually move towards adaptive CBT, computer-based tests, computer-based formats, whilst school syllabi and entrance exams may finally begin speaking the same language. None of this means that NEET or JEE or those big entrance examinations are going away. They will continue to remain the gateway to India's top institutions, but the gateway itself may no longer look the way that it does today. And that's a major overhaul in its own self. Supporters believe that these reforms could restore the value of classroom learning, reduce dependence on coaching factories, and reward students for the consistent academic performance instead of judging them for one exam on one single day. Critics, however, on the other hand, warn that the challenges are equally real. Different education boards follow different evaluation standards. Can marks from across the country truly be compared fairly? And if board exams begin carrying much higher stakes, will the pressure simply shift from NEET and JEE to the class 12th board examinations in the classrooms? And there is another question as well. Even if students get more attempts, will that actually reduce stress or keep them trapped in an endless cycle of preparation? India may be preparing not just for examination reforms, but for a complete rethink of what merit should mean in higher education. So, will these changes finally weaken the coaching culture? Can board examinations be trusted as a fair measure across different states? Are we creating a more balanced system or simply replacing one pressure point with another? Let's open this up and the entire conversation with our guests on the broadcast. Joining me here on the broadcast is Professor C.B. Sharma, educationist. Many thanks for taking out the time. And Advocate Manoj Sharma, Vice President, Delhi Parents Association. Many thanks, gentlemen. Professor Sharma, for nearly 2 decades, and you've been speaking to us on News9 for all the mishaps that have been happening. There's an entire chronology that we don't want to put out right now because the retest has happened when it comes to the NEET. And with each passing day, the glitches with the CBSE, it demanded a major overhaul. Are you happy with this new development that has come to light? It's still a big may, it's still a big if, but admissions to India's top institutions, they've always revolved around one major entrance examination. Giving board examinations the significant weight, does it finally restore its importance and the importance of consistent school education, sir?
Those who are debating education today may find it interesting and a major change. I am not enthused. Don't forget, you had introduced these changes in 2014. You had made the board exams 50%. 2017, you reversed from it. So the same government, 2014, it brought this change that 50% weightage will be given to school boards, 50% to the entrance exam. 2017, it was reversed. So it's nothing new. What
brush the viewers' memory, sir. Why did that happen, essentially?
Yeah, I will tell you. Look, I was part of the whole exam board system, and we could not normalize boards, right? Because boards are different. They have different governments and they're different under state governments. Because school education per se, is in the concurrent list. So state governments decide. Don't forget, 2020, the Chhattisgarh Minister for Education decided that the question paper and answer sheet will be given to students. They can take home, write their answers and submit in 7 days. And thousands of students got 100% marks. Now, if you say that we are going to consider school board results, how would you assess the Chhattisgarh result?
Fair point.
Because the Minister for Education of the state decides how the state board will function. Now, you have got CUET because you could not manage the school boards of the states. State board slipped, started giving more marks, and this became a competition between boards which can give more marks. I remember Ramasamy Commission had involved the ISI to do this exercise, and they had submitted a formula for normalization of board results. Don't forget, the merit in all boards are identical, marks are not.
Just to make sure, Professor, that the viewers are all also on the same board, you're saying that one of the most prime concerns here is that different education boards they will award marks differently, and without a robust normalization system, can board marks truly become a national benchmark? That's one question, right?
They cannot. They cannot. Because the states will get into that rut of putting their students above other boards. And the boards are under the Minister for Education of the state. So they would do everything to show their state and their children that, look, we are caring for you, we are giving you more marks so that you can qualify medical, engineering or whatever.
And this seems to be the biggest hurdle. There might be more challenges, but this seems to be the biggest hurdle. If you can't normalize this national benchmark, what good are the board examination results in any case? Let me bring in, the parents' voice here. We've got Advocate Manoj Sharma with us on the broadcast. Sir, these proposed reforms, firstly, your opening submission, what do you make of these? They're being seen as an attempt to reduce the students' stress and dependence on coaching institutes. We've been talking about this, come the NEET mishap that we all, witnessed in this country. The coaching industry, do you think it's being unfairly blamed for problems that are created by the examination systems? And your opening submissions and your assessment with this new overhaul that people are talking about, they're calling it India's big examination reset. Is it really one?
Look, in the past few years, I'm very sorry to say that CBSE has lost his credibility. Total credibility loss, trust deficit. So whatever CBSE is doing, whether in a good faith or whether in a scientific manner, the public of this country, parents and students are not going to believe them that they are sincere people, they are honest people, they are doing something good for the education system. Number one. Another very important point which Mr. Sharma was talking about, when in the nation we are having one nation, one election, one nation, one ration card, then why not one nation, one board? Let it be one nation, one board. There should be physics, chemistry, biology, accountancy, business studies, legal studies. There should be one standard book across India, and it should be upgraded or updated every year or every twice year as per the new things are coming into the subject wise. This is what we are doing. Chhattisgarh is doing something, UP board is something, CBSE board is something, And one thing more, I have a apprehension when this 50% comes into the weightage, then every year CBSE papers will be also leaked out because there will be high stakes of the students and
I'm here thinking maybe, if you're talking about evolution of the coaching centers, that's probably on the cards as well. They will also start coaching students for the 12th board examinations. The board begins carrying 50% weightage. Coaching centers will also simply evolve, isn't it?
They are already doing. They are starting from the as early as class 8, class 9. What they are saying, we are teaching school syllabus as well as competition syllabus. So it is already in the place. Actually, we are making mockery of our education system. It is going to damage our country very badly. The system is opting for AI and the things are moving, 100 times. If you sleep and wake up the other day, the things have been
I'm being the devil's advocate here, sir. I'm trying to understand. Look, at least the train is not stationary at the platform. It's moving somewhere. It could be moving in the wrong direction. But being stationary, I don't know if this analogy works here per se. I'm just looking at it from the aspect that it is at least moving. It's not stationary. Do you think that makes credible sense?
The issue is we don't have the student-centric. It is either parent-centric, coaching institute-centric, policy-centric, central government-centric, this ideology, that ideology. Unless and until we focus sincerely that the education should be student-centric, what the student should require, what should it be given so that it comes up to as soon as he pass out the college or the school, he must be, efficient for the industry, he must be efficient for the society. There is a totally disconnect. What we are talking about, 50%, sometimes 50% marks laga denge, sometimes 50% add kar denge. These are mockery. They are mockery. We are not serious about the education.
So do you think this is an eyewash in the face of all that has been happening over the last 2 months? It seems like a new overhaul is the only way that the government can sincerely say that, okay, it's really trying to keep the students, in their focus. Professor Sharma, I'm sorry I couldn't buttress my point home with that analogy. You were disagreeing with that. But you see, there's one more angle to look at. And since you're somebody who's worked so closely with the National Education Policy 2020 as well, sir, the government wants this entrance examination to align more closely. There needs to be a synergy with the NCERT curriculum. Now, I'm trying to understand, could this genuinely reduce dependence on the coaching centers? And is this expectation realistic at all?
Look, I would say, and I think only yesterday on your channel I had said that there should be more dependence on NCRT, the textbook, the school curriculum, and what the schools are teaching, and they should be given primacy in all such selections. But unfortunately, we have a wide range of quality difference in schools across the country. Some of the schools are too poor, too bad, I should say. So you cannot really manage that. You will have to improve that. But the most important argument that I would like to make is, look, the memory span of your ministry is very small. Today, there is no one in the ministry, no one, right from the minister to undersecretary, who was privy or who was part of the discussion in 2014 when we had introduced 50% from the school results. 17 because of the continuity, then it was reversed. Now everybody in the ministry has forgotten what happened then. I'll give you a very good example. 2nd October 2018, we launched a TV channel for the hearing impaired by the name Gyanamrit channel. It was withdrawn for whatever reason. Now the new minister, Mr. Pradhan, launched a new channel saying we have thought it for the first time that there should be a channel for the hearing impaired. Similar thing is happening. You have forgotten what you did between 2014-27. 6 times you have reversed your entrance test procedures. 6 times. Paper pencil, objective and paper pencil, first layer, second layer. The reason being, and this is the most important argument, you have no research base for saying or taking decision. I'm confident.
So then how else do I put it, Professor? How else do I put it?
Look,
with the trust deficit that we've been seeing.
I will put it.
With the trust deficit that we've been seeing, I mean, aren't we letting down the future of our country?
Exactly. And that is because you should have a strong database and a permanent committee which looks into these processes in the system and makes decisions. Today you are taking these decisions because you are in a mess because of the NEET exam, CBSE exam. So what do you tell your people? Look, we are very serious. We have taken a major decision. Every channel is saying that. The government has finally come with a very robust decision and 50% board result. You have done it again and again. You have reversed it. Don't forget Ramasamy Committee and ISI report. I was privy to the CAVE committee meeting where we had discussed this, how to integrate. Look, normalization of school result will be very difficult. You can normalize marks, you cannot normalize merit. You have identical merit in all boards, but not identical marks. Bihar board is very stringent, doesn't give board mark. CBSE is very liberal, give liberal marks. How would you do it? You have no mechanism. Provided you have a continuous committee of experts who keep doing this. Every 2 years, you have a change in minister, change in secretary, change in full ministry, and they reverse the decision. Just to please the Prime Minister or the Minister for Education.
I mean, I'm not a soothsayer. I don't see the future, but the cabinet reshuffle is also on the cards. We might just have a new education minister. I mean, the pressure is certainly mounting on that particular front. Let's keep that aside for a second. But, you know, you've raised some very pertinent points here, Professor Sharma. Let me bring in Advocate on that particular front. Advocate Sharma, firstly, of course, do you echo along the points of what Professor Sharma here is saying? And there are supporters of this new move. Let me read out what they're saying as well. They say that these reforms will reduce pressure. From what you see as a parent every day, from being a voice of the Parents Association, a vice president, an office bearer over there, do you think that students feel less stressed, or will they now face pressure from 2 equally important examinations? I'm here thinking that early on you had one hallmark examination to work towards. Now you will have to focus in class, and of course you have to do it, but you'll have to pay equal attention for the board examinations, then work for the NEET and the JEE. I mean, I'm here thinking we're stuck in this relentless cycle of examinations.
Correct. The stress as well as pressure will be multiplied by 2 folds now, because you have to score at least 95, 96 or 100 percentile or in the CBSE, so that heavy weightage can give you a gateway to the competition exam, and of course you have to perform better in the competition exam so that the minimum merit you qualify. So it is a double pressure on the student. And then another thing, whichever government, whichever the ministry reshuffle, it is a old wine in the same bottle. We are totally not concerned about our education system. This is the only issue, whether it's a Congress, BJP or Samajwadi. Nobody is basically concerned. The another very important point which I want to raise here, the reason is, although it looks that I'm just passing buck, but why these children of ministers or high profile officers or well-to-do families send their children to study out of India? This is the litmus test. Those who can afford, they do not want to spoil their future in the education system, Indian education system. And CBSE should have his motto instead of whatever they are having, that Javed Akhtar साहब famous share कि क्यों डरे जिंदगी में, क्या होगा, कुछ नहीं होगा तो तजुर्बा होगा. They are doing तजुर्बा, experience. हर secretary, हर officer आता है, वो अपना तजुर्बा करके चला जाता है. प्रधान जी अपना करके जाते हैं, स्मृति ईरानी जी अपना करके जाते हैं, कपिल सिब्बल जी अपना करके चले जाते हैं. सब लोग अपना अपना करके चले जाते हैं. There is no uniformity, there is no research, there is no education. इसको बिठाइए ना. What is the harm? Those who are experienced, those who knows, nursery classes में क्या पढ़ाना चाहिए और 5th में क्या पढ़ाना चाहिए, 12th में क्या होना चाहिए, how the competition should be managed, where these intellects are there.
All the intellect is being used. No, sir. You see, Advocate Sharma, all the intellect is being used. What chapter to now put in, what chapter to now remove, how to alter, what kind of history. The focus is all there. Photograph. Yeah, exactly. And the photographs about that naked dancing lady. You're absolutely right. I think the priorities are misplaced. But, Professor Sharma, I want to come back to that NCERT question. I think you said, if I'm not wrong and if I'm not mistaken, you said the idea is that NCERT should be given more weightage because that creates synergy amongst these, hallmark examinations. But then you also pointed out that the quality is not uniform across the length and breadth of the country. How do we fix that? How do we move on that particular track?
I will highlight 3 things. One is NCERT is definitely a very, very prestigious institution which has the very important job of producing quality books, and that takes care of quality across country. So that should become the default curriculum material. Unfortunately, in the last couple of months or maybe a year or two, it has again slipped, faltered. So that is a separate thing, but NCERT needs to be given primacy and their textbook should become the default. Second, look, you will have to bring back your school education to the central list. You cannot manage states because states would like to put their children above other states. They have to get votes. So they will have to tell their students and their parents that, look, I'm caring for you so that your children get placed in best institution. That's not the criterion for it. And third, I would say, look, you will have to take it out from ministry. It is not the job of the ministry to manage school education or education. As I said, everybody from Dharmendra Pradhan ji to Under Secretary has 2 years lifespan in the ministry. They are learning. A secretary education, school education literacy told me when he joined as secretary, Sharma Sahab, I don't know anything about education. I have never worked in education. I have to learn. 3 months down the line, he became the most informed person of education. You will have to change that. Till you do it, this will keep happening. Every secretary will come, think of something, introduce it, and that brings fiasco. This needs to be informed to the government. It's so shameful. And
it's so sad.
In case the Prime Minister.
It's so shameful. It's so sad that it's almost funny. I mean, hence the little smirk. But Professor Sharma, before I go across to Advocate Sharma for his final thoughts on this particular front, you see, Professor, if these entrance tests become closely aligned with school textbooks and coaching institutes, you've given us 3 very important, areas that we need to work on. But this board weightage, the multiple attempts, the adaptive testing, you're saying this is not going to help out. These reforms are certainly not going to help out. That's your stand, essentially, right?
Yes, that's my stand. You will have to have a standardized process, which is research, which is understood. Just as I told you, in the last 50 years, you have switched over 6 times. You have come back to the same and said, look, we have finally got the answer. You have not. because you don't have a consistent
and that example of
Bring it out
2014
the
to
government.
2017 and the seesaw between what was happening earlier and what has been happening now, and on that seesaw are are our future generation and the kids. They're dilly-dallying from one end to the other.
Bring it out of the government, established a school education commission which works independently and which consists of experts and not of babus.
Okay. Advocate, final word to you. Final 30 seconds. As a parent,
yeah, please.
What matters to you? Speak from the perspective of a parent. What matters to you more? Is it a system that rewards consistent performance over, let's say, 2 years, 11th, 12th, padhai karke, then you go on and you write those examinations, or a system that gives every student an equal opportunity through a single national examination? Of course, we know that there are going to be leaks. There is quite a lackadaisical approach when it comes to that single hallmark national examination. What, out of these two roads, which one do you want to take?
I just only want to say one nation, one board, one physics standard book, one accountancy standard book. It may be in Tamil, it may be in Odia. That is not an issue because we have a diversity. But there should be, when we are having income tax form, we are going to fill it. Then why we are having different kind of books? There is a one income tax form, there is a one license, there is a one ration card. So why there are too much books and too much boards? Every person is coming, every Tom, Dick and Harry is coming and saying, no, this chapter should be come out and this chapter should be inserted. Let's have the, Jharkhand culture more in the weightage of political science or in the social science. Why it is necessary? Let's have one standard book where
I certainly agree with you.
Weightage.
I agree with you, sir. India's examination system, it's now standing at one of its biggest crossroads in years. Of course, source-based information at this point in time, but it very well could be one of the biggest examination resets. And if these examination reforms actually become reality, they won't just change how students study or get into colleges. They will pretty much redefine what we value as a society in education ourselves. And the challenge right now to both the Sharmas on the show, Professor and Advocate, is that it's not ensuring that in trying to reduce one kind of pressure, we don't end up creating another set of pressure for the students. I think that's the biggest takeaway over here. We leave that with the viewers. Many thanks, Professor Sharma. Many thanks, Advocate Sharma, for speaking to us here on News9. All right, then, a quick commercial breather here. But on the other side, your smartphone may be the most personal thing you own. And, of course, it might be getting hacked. Pegasus 2.0. We're decoding that. Don't go anywhere.
Meet the tomorrow today. ICFI is the bridge between tomorrow and today. Bridge between aspirations and accomplishment. Bridge between I wish to I can. I will remove the gap. Welcome to the I. I am ICFI, belief called I. I can fly above imagination.
ICFI.
Amid a fragile ceasefire, stakeholders take on the tough questions.
Was Israel surprised by the asymmetric warfare which Iran started conducting?
Yes, I think it was kind of surprised the level of savagery.
Why has Iran stopped the traffic in the Strait of Hormuz?
So we have to defend ourselves.
Like never before, on point with Kartikeya Sharma, decoding Hormuz, Kharg, and the ceasefire.
What is the future of peace in West Asia?
I hope that they got their lesson. That are supposed to give a chance. We stay ready in case it doesn't work.
Every war has a political objective.